This video is concerning about Christmas and its origins. Is Christmas right for Christians? Yes or no? We'll find out now as I've compiled some information regarding the origins of Christmas. Right, let me just read from my notes. The day of December 25th to celebrate Christ's birth was chosen to conform to the old pagan Roman holidays called Saturnalia and Brumalia. The ancient Romans kept these holidays around the time of the shortest day of the year, the winter solstice. So that's some information about the origins of Christmas. Also, I've got some more information here. Because the Roman Emperor Aurelian fixed December 25th for the winter solstice holiday in AD 274, it was thought that early Christians adopted this day for their Christmas so that they would be less conspicuous in the observance of their holiday. So they sort of incorporated it into their other beliefs. Most scholars believe that the birthday of Jesus was never known and the December date was surely a coincidence. So no one actually knows the actual birth of Christ, but they use December 25th for that day. And why they come to that date? The earliest known observance of Christmas on December 25th was the year AD 336 in Rome, as recorded in the calendar of the period. And it says here, almost everywhere in Europe, in both Roman and Hellenic northern European countries, the period around the winter solstice was celebrated with lights to celebrate the increase of sunlight to come, and with greenery, usually evergreens, to represent the coming of spring and eternal cycles of growth. At the Saturnalia festival, December 17 to 24, Romans would present each other with sprigs of holly as gifts for the holiday. When Hellenic tribes began to usurp power from the Romans in Europe, they brought their Yule or winter feast traditions with them. The Yule log and Wesseling, toasting each other's health with alcoholic drinks, are two of the traditions that tribe brought forward. The origin of Christmas tree is usually traced in Saint Boniface, who in the 8th century persuaded the Teutonic tribes to abandon worship of the sacred oak of Odin, a remnant of Druidism, and to confer it instead onto the fir, a more appropriate symbol of Jesus. So they changed it from oak to the fir. Trees, however, they were used in pagan worship thousands of years ago. It says here that I've got some more information regarding it. The Nicolaitans, believe it or not, the Nicolaitans are in part responsible for Christianity's acceptance for Christmas, Easter and Halloween and other unbiblical practices. The Nicolaitanism represented a much broader philosophy. They involved all these other things to come into Christianity, the Nicolaitans. The word Christmas means Mass of Christ, or it came to be shortened Christmas. It came to non-Christians and Protestants from the Roman Catholic Church. And where did they get it from? It was not from the Bible, it said here. Christmas was not among the earliest festivals of the church. The first evidence of Christmas was from Egypt, even before that. In the same encyclopedia called the Christmas, it tells you about Christmas was not among the earliest festivals of the church. It tells you about that the day we find that the early Catholic father, Origen, acknowledged this truth, and he said, in the scriptures, no one is recorded to have kept a feast or held a great banquet on his birthday, Christ's birthday. It was only sinners like Pharaoh and Herod who make great rejoicings over the day in which they were born into this world. Encyclopaedia Britannica 1946 edition says, Christmas was not among the earliest festivals of the church. It was not instituted by Christ or the apostles or by Bible authority. It was picked up afterwards from paganism. So that's some notes about that, and I've got some more notes here. The new Shaf Hezon Encyclopedia of Religious Knowledge explains clearly in an article about Christmas how the date of the festival was pagan, Brumalia, December 25th, following Saturnalia, December 17 to 24, the celebrating the shortest day in the year and the new sun. The pagan festival, with its riot and merrymaking, was so popular that Christmas was a glad excuse to be brought into and mixed with Christianity, from the pagans to Christianity. The Roman world had been pagan prior to the 4th century. Christians were few in number, although increasing, and were persecuted by the government and by pagans. But with the advent of Constantine as emperor, who made his profession to Christianity in the 4th century, placing Christianity on an equal footing with paganism, so incorporating both together, people of the Roman world began to accept this now popular Christianity by the hundreds of thousands by incorporating other beliefs into Christianity. These people had grown up with pagan customs, chief of which was the festival of December the 25th. It was a festival of merrymaking. Also, it says more information from the new Shaf Herzog Encyclopedia of Religious Knowledge explains how the recognition by Constantine of Sunday, which had been the day of pagan sun worship, and how the influence of pagan Manichaeism, which identified the Son of God with the physical sun, gave these pagans of the 4th century, now turning over to Christianity, their excuse for calling their pagan festival date of December 25th, birthday of the sun god, into the birthday of the Son of God. So we're getting some more information about Christmas and how it really is a pagan festival and not a religious one. So some other interesting information here, that it originally started even further back than the Egyptians, to the time of Babylon and Nimrod. Nimrod, the grandson of Ham, son of Noah, was the real founder of the Babylonian system that gripped the world and started this tradition, really. And here's some notes. From many ancient writings, considerably is learned of this man who started the great organizing world apostasy from God that has dominated this world until now. Nimrod was so evil, it said he married his own mother, whose name was Semiramis. After Nimrod's untimely death, his so-called mother-wife, Semiramis, incorporated an evil doctrine of the survival of Nimrod as a spirit being. She claimed a full-grown evergreen tree sprang overnight from a dead tree stump, which symbolized the springing forth onto new life of the dead Nimrod. On each anniversary of his dead birth, she claimed Nimrod would visit the evergreen tree and leave gifts upon it. December 25th was the birthday of Nimrod. This is the real origin of the Christmas tree. Though her scheming and designing, Semiramis, wife of Nimrod and his mother, became the Babylonian Queen of Heaven, and Nimrod, under various names, became the divine Son of Heaven. Through the generations in his idolatrous worship, Nimrod became the false Messiah, son of Baal, the sun god. In this false Babylonian system, the mother and the child, so you get that in Catholicism, the mother Mary and the child Jesus. So these are the chief objects. The worship of mother and child spread across the world, and it was incorporated into other religions. Thus, during the 4th and 5th centuries, when the pagans and the Romans world were accepting the new popular Christianity by hundreds and thousands, carrying their old pagan customs and beliefs along with them, merely cloaking them with Christian-sounding names, the Madonna and mother and child idea also became popularized. Especially at Christmas time, every Christmas season you hear sung and chanted dozens of hymns, Silent Night, Holy Night, with its familiar mother and child theme. originally started from the Babylonian times. I got some other notes here. So basically, December 25th is not the birthday of Jesus. The early apostles and church never celebrated his birthday. They were commanded and instructed regarding his death, not his birth. And we've got other notes as well here about where did the mistletoe custom come from. Well, it says here, among the ancient pagans, the mistletoe was used at this festival of the winter solstice because it was considered sacred to the sun because of its supposed miraculous healing power. The pagan custom of kissing under the mistletoe was an early step in the night of revelry and drunken debauchery, celebrating the death of the old sun and the birth of the new at the winter solstice. Mistletoe, sacred in pagan festivals, is a parasite. Holly berries were also considered sacred to the sun god. The Yule log is in reality the sun log. Yule means wheel, a pagan symbol of the sun, yet today professing Christians speak of the sacred Yuletide season. Even the lighting of fires and candles as a Christmas ceremony is merely a continuation of pagan customs, encouraging the waning sun god to be reached the lowest place in the southern skies. And the Encyclopedia Americana says the holly, the mistletoe and the Yule log are relics of pre-Christian times of paganism. The book answers to questions compiled by Frederick J. Haskins, found in Public Life, says the use of Christmas wreaths is believed by authorities to be traceable to pagan customs of decorating buildings and places of worship at the feast, which took place at the same time as Christmas. The Christmas tree is from Egypt and its origin dates back even further back to the Babylonian times. God obviously cares how we worship him. And it says here in the scriptures, God does I've got some scriptures regarding Christmas. In Jeremiah 10:2-4, thus says the Lord, do not lean the way of the nations, and do not be terrified by the signs of the heavens, although the nations are terrified by them. For the customs of the people are delusion, because it is wood cut from the forest, the work of the hands of a craftsman with a cutting tool. They decorate it with silver and gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, not to totter. Basically, to summarise that, Christmas basically is a pagan festival, started with Nimrod, and true Christians should not celebrate it. I hope this information was helpful and useful. God bless.